stepping away from that, you now have Famous, where, you know, Famous, for the most part, is pretty harmless. You know, he's young and he, like, messes up and stuff like that, but he's not really out here looking for trouble. You know, like, he's not Kanan. He's not really looking to get involved in the streets and stuff like that. And it's just like, as he expressed to Kanan, that this whole hustling and street stuff and selling drugs and all of that, like, he's not built for that. He's not that guy. And give respect in acknowledging the reality of the situation, right? Like, not fronting and pretending like you're some hard-body guy when that really isn't who you are. Maybe in time it'll be explained what his motivation was for going to try to rob Freddy. I mean, maybe it was a matter of desperation and Famous being like a person that messes up, that the situation just got out of hand. But as we see now, like, Famous isn't built for this street stuff, you know? That him having killed Freddy is weighing on him. You know, we see him in the studio with Lou, and he's, like, rapping about what happened, you know, subtly, but rapping about what happened and the stress of having this on his conscience. You know, and not really being able to live with himself, feeling guilty about it. And the thing about it is that we saw him in the episode with Kanan and you know, RAQ showing up to the house and whatnot, where the cops pulled him in. We saw him, like, unburden himself to Kanan there. Here, him and Lou kind of have a surface level conversation about the situation, but Lou is kind of coming at it more from the perspective of using these feelings as inspiration and motivation for him to make really good music. But in speaking to Famous about it, you can also imagine what and how these things that Lou has done weighs on him, right? We saw with, like, the heavy drinking, you know, with him, you know, telling RAQ or trying to get RAQ to understand that he can't keep, you know, shooting up and killing people and this kind of stuff that is killing him. You know, and here it is that you have Famous, where really Kanan is the one pressuring him into being involved with this stuff. And they're supposed to be brothers. And it's like, you can just imagine that RAQ, we've seen, and in the past, likely pressured Lou into this as well. Lou seemed like he was going to become a liability. I didn't think that he would necessarily snitch or anything like that. I thought it would be more like he would do something stupid. Either he would be, like, drunk and he would, like, have some kind of a car accident, or he'd be drunk and get into a fight with someone, something along those lines. I never thought that he would have went and sat down and told Scrappy's mom what happened. Because at that point, it's like you're trying to unburden yourself, but it's just going to create a world of problems. Now, since last season, when Scrappy's mom rolled up on Kanan, I always felt that they had put that storyline down for a moment, but that it was going to come back into play. That somehow this woman was going to find out that RAQ played some sort of a hand. Well, RAQ and her brothers. Well, really, you could say RAQ. That RAQ, because she's the one that ultimately pulled the trigger, that RAQ played a hand in killing Scrappy. Because I didn't think they were just going to have her roll up on Kanan, asking him questions and whatnot, and refusing to accept the police's version of events without, and just, like, drop it there. Like, I felt that, I didn't know how, but that somehow, like, either this lady was going to keep asking questions, but something was going to shake loose that RAQ and them had something to do with her son's death. I didn't think it was going to be Lou trying to unburden himself and telling her about it. And so with that, I felt that eventually, at the very least, between the two brothers, that at least one of them was going to die, the other was going to go to jail, or some combination of that, but that they were going to be gotten up out of there. But here it is that you have Lou goes and tells Scrappy's mom, which he's not snitching to the cops, but he's telling Scrappy's mom, and I feel like Scrappy's mom is now going to be out for blood. Now, my concern was that she would try to hit back at RAQ, like try to get RAQ out of there. Seems like that might not be the case. But you can kind of see that things are going to fall apart for everyone. I think it's a terrible idea. Like RAQ had a close call with the Italians and managed to escape unscathed. But it's this thing of thinking that you're smarter than you really are, because RAQ's been messing up for a while now. And you were lucky enough to be able to walk away the first time. I don't think you're going to have that luck again. Either she's going to end up in jail or she's going to end up being killed. And I think, as we can see from Unique being killed, that never mind that RAQ is a major character, like, she can be gotten up out of there as well. Because ultimately, the only people that we need to survive in this story are Jukebox and Kanan. Everyone else can die. And I had the sense that the two brothers, be it between being killed or going to jail, that they were going to be, Christmas. Well, if you go to jail, Christmas isn't canceled for you. It's just not that great. But they were going to be removed from the situation. And it's like now seeing how things are moving and just how like sloppy RAQ's gotten. Of like, she's smart, yes, but makes stupid calls and choices. And it's like you're not learning from your mistakes. And so it's like she's gotten to the point of being overconfident in her abilities, and largely her ability to manipulate situations, to the point where she's making foolish choices and decisions and isn't realizing that these calls that she's making, these decisions that she's making, they aren't right. Right? Like, first of all, she messed up with the whole situation from the start of the first season with Howard, right? That was like her first major mess up. Her second thing was taking this tip from Worrell, which he got from Unique, about setting up shop out in Jersey, and doing so without doing her due diligence. Deciding to try to go up against things with the Italians, right? You look at it as well, setting up in these project buildings where, sure, it's a fortress in a sense that it should be easy to keep people out or to see trouble when it's coming. But should the enemies get in, you're going to have a hard time getting out. And it's like, just, you see where Kanan gets a lot of this stuff from. His manipulative nature, he gets it from her. His seemingly good in the short term, but bad long-term thinking, with regards to the street stuff. It's just, they're just messing up, man. Just bad decisions all around. And it's going to be interesting to see how this stuff plays out, because they've all done things. Marvin and the whole situation with Tony and the drama that set into play. RAQ going back to the whole shenanigans of, who's Kanan's father and the things that she's done since then. Howard trying to control and manipulate this investigation and killing Burke and all of this other stuff that he's done. Lou now trying to right his wrongs by going and tell Scrappy's mom. All of this stuff, all of these things, them trying to control these situations, manipulate these situations, it just makes the problem worse. And it's like now we're getting to a point where they were getting away with it for a while, but all of those things that they've done in the past, you can see like the setup for it to come back and bite them. And it's like, I just see like a bloodbath in the future, man.
Thanks for tuning in. To ensure you don't miss any episodes, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, go ahead and click the thumbs up button if you like what you saw, and go ahead and share it on social media.